It is time for a quick update on the Kumquat Hedge, which is right behind us. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here at the end of December. Now, if you guys have been following us along, you know that we have over 180 fruiting trees, vines, and shrubs here on this Sonoran Desert farm. One of the first things we actually planted with you guys 5 years ago were these kumquats. Now, the kumquats that we planted with you guys were actually from the old farm, so we've had these for quite some time. They lived most of their lives in a pot. Now, we planted 4, but we lost the Nagami kumquat twice, so we gave up on it. We don't know what's going on with that spot, but the reality is we didn't actually need it. We've still actually blocked this north end of our chicken run with the kumquats you see behind us here. Now, kumquats are notorious for being very, very slow growers, and for the most part, that is the case, but they're doing fantastic. We have the Fukushu kumquat here behind me. Right in the middle is the Miwa kumquat. And then the tallest one in the back is our Centennial Variegated Kumquat. Now, the kumquat behind me, the Fukushu, is probably the best tasting if you're gonna eat them fresh. There's a couple on here. In fact, I'm gonna snag one here real quick. This is a Fukushu kumquat right here. I'd say this is about the size of a 50-cent piece or so, and a little overripe, but let's go ahead and try these. Now, you eat these whole. Really good. You can see the inside, nothing exciting there, but several seeds. I don't typically eat the seeds, I'll spit those out, but you eat it rind and all. It's a beautiful balance of tart and sweet. The Fukushu kumquat, fantastic variety. I want to also show you the one next to it. Tree's a little taller than I am. This is the Miwa kumquat. Okay, this is a Miwa kumquat. You can see quite a bit smaller. As far as the diameter, I'd say smaller than a quarter in diameter, probably like a more like a nickel. And let's go and try this. A lot more seeds to flesh. So the flesh on the inside is more like a lemon, very tart. The skin is actually what's sweet. It's good, not as good as the Fukushu though, in my opinion. The Fukushu is a little sweeter than this, but either way, both of them not very tart at all. So we got a third one we're gonna spend a little more time on today. It's the tall one in the background. It's our Centennial Variegated Kumquat. I want you guys to see this one. So behind me is our variegated kumquat, and these are the fruit. They vary in size a bit. This is pretty much a full-size one. This one is probably about the size of a silver dollar, a little bigger than a ping pong ball, I would say. And this guy's a little bit smaller, so they can vary quite a bit. Now, the variegation goes away as these ripen, and you can still see it a little bit in this smaller one. There's still a few lines of the variegation in the fruit. This larger one that's gonna obviously have a lot more juice in it, it's pretty much completely gone. It almost looks like a lemon. Now, you guys have seen me eat the Fukushu and the Miwa, so this Centennial kumquat, I can tell you, it's a little more sour. Let's go ahead and try it. I'm gonna try the small one. So, definitely a lot more tart than the other two. I would say it tastes, if you have a Meyer lemon, a little bit of a tart and sweet lemon, that's probably what this tastes like, maybe a little bit sweeter than that. And these larger ones tend to be even more sour because there's more flesh versus the rind. But these trees, you can see, do fantastic in the ground for us here. Now, they are growing a little bit slower, but the Centennial that's behind me here is probably about 12 feet tall, I would say, and it's probably about 6 or so feet wide. So it's actually a very, very large tree, given the fact that it's actually a dwarf tree. So 12 feet by 6 feet, and it's a dwarf. Go figure. So now, kumquats obviously grow fantastic for us here in the Sonoran Desert. They will put on more than one fruit set. In fact, we've had fruit off of these in spring, summer, and of course here in winter. So you can have multiple harvest off of these trees. And it actually is pretty easy to keep them smaller. These other two trees, the fukushu and the miwa, both of those are about 7 or 8 feet tall, maybe 4 feet wide. And of course, we have them in this beautiful hedge that's blocking the chickens, which you can't even see behind us here. So when it comes to kumquats, there's things you can do with this. Obviously, eating them fresh is a great way to get your vitamin C and devour these little guys. It's like a sweet and sour candy almost, but just wonderful fruit. So fresh is really how we like to eat these. Now you can also candy these, you can turn them into marmalade, that's very, very common. But if you guys know Lori and I, you know that it's afternoon and we like to have an adult beverage from time to time. So we're gonna go ahead and take a harvest and show you our favorite way of utilizing the Centennial Variegated Kumquat. So you guys watched us making one of Lori's favorite drinks. Well, actually, what's your favorite drink? Overall, what do we make all the time that's your favorite?
A lemon drop martini.
There we go. So ever since you've had it, that's like been your go-to, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of lemons, we're gonna have to give you guys an update on lemons, but kumquats, what is this?
So this is a kumquat martini.
Yes, and it's a skinny kumquat martini, right?
Yeah.
So we showed you guys all the steps, but rehash all of what you need.
So we did 4 ounces of kumquat juice. We did 2 ounces of triple sec, 4 ounces of vodka, a tablespoon of alternative sugar, or you can use sugar, and put a few ice cubes in there and shook it up.
Let's go ahead and give this a shot. This is a skinny kumquat martini. Cheers. Really good. Mm-hmm. I know the first time we had this, you were shocked how good it was.
I know I was, because kumquats are sometimes hit or miss as far as the taste of them.
Mm-hmm. But this one, in with that little bit of sugar, right? A little bit of tart and some sweet, makes it really just fantastic.
Yeah, and a lot of people will put like a sugar rim on martinis. Obviously, we try to stay away from the sugar, which we could do with the alternative sugar, but we don't.
Another option, yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be a good night.
That's yummy.
So kumquats, an unusual fruit, that's for sure. It is the world's smallest citrus, and it does have an unusual flavor when you eat it fresh, but different options we want to give you guys here today and give you guys an update on our kumquats 5 years in. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this Sonoran desert farm and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
comment section down below.
And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you.
you got it. One more drink.
You need to do like a little slice of kumquat as a little garnish on here.
Oh, that'd be adorable. All right. That's good. Be a good night tonight.
Yes.
It is time for a quick I gotta get my words back.